What's up, YouTube? J. Park here. Guys, if you've been on Twitter, if you've been on Facebook, if you've been reading Koreaboo and K-pop, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you even read the title of this video, then you guys kind of know what I'm about to talk about. And it ain't gonna be pretty. So I'm going to shelve this video under my 10-minute K-pop videos because this is kind of not normal, but this is something that I think we need to talk about more often. Recently, BTS had a highlight tour after their Red Bull tour here in the United States. They went to a few places, and I think the next one they're heading to is Toronto. So last night, again, if you guys are on Twitter, Facebook, all K-pop, Koreaboo, anything like that, then you guys probably already know that the Atlanta tour did not go as expected. So BTS did a highlight tour. One of the stops they had were Atlanta and Houston and I think San Francisco, and they're going to Toronto next. So I'm going to talk specifically about the Atlanta tour, or the Atlanta stop, because this actually goes into a larger thing that I want to talk about, and I think this is kind of important. So we all know how mediocre really that Jazzy is. A lot of people had complaints with Subculture, who did the by the way, Jazzy did the Block B in Miami, and that was fine. Well, they did Block B, in the US. Subculture did the BTS Red Bullet tour, and TGM is doing their highlight tour. And even though Jazzy gets several complaints about some stuff, they're just mediocre. They're not this bad. Subculture, a lot of people had problems at first, but then later on when they corrected, did whatever they had to do, then they were okay. TGM does not have that at all. They just don't. So, in the Atlanta tour, what happened was that they had oversold their venue by 100. So there was 100 people waiting outside because they were promised, as compensation for them not being able to go in and see the actual concert, that they were going to receive high touch and I think an autograph or a photo session, something like that. But apparently none of those things happened, because what happened was that after this, these fans, these loyal trooper armies, were waiting outside in the rain for 2.5 hours. Let me tell you, that's dangerous. I don't care what danger you see, but I see car safety dangers, and that someone could have easily have been hit, someone could have been injured some kind of way, just for waiting outside 2 hours to actually get into this venue. So, because they were promised high touch, because they were promised the autograph, photograph session, they waited, and that's good. That is so good. The problem is that upon being let inside, TGM announced to these 100 or so people that not only did BTS leave, but they're just not going to get anything back. They did promise a refund several times, but people have brought up their past history involving Eric Nam, Kim Tae-woo, and Indiegogo in particular, saying that they promised refunds for the Eric Nam tour that happened, I think maybe a few months, either early this year or like late last year, I think, but have not fulfilled that promise. So you can kind of see where this BTS tour is about to go. Well, at least the Atlanta stop. Guys. And this is not new. Being spent all your money is not new. That's the sad part of this. However, this army is a generally young fan base. It really is. You have a lot of teenagers, really, younger kids. Like there was a mom that had tweeted saying that her 10-year-old and her 12-year-old were crying, bawling tears because they didn't get to see BTS and they were part of the crowd. And if you just go ahead and you search that, I mean, highlight tour Atlanta, there's videos, countless videos already. You can go on Twitter. There's people preparing pretty much or threatening legal action for TGM and their, all of that they did, which is really fraudulent activity. The other part that's not new is the international fans getting the shaft. And what I mean by that is that Korean fans tend to think that international fans, like myself, that we don't really spend much or do much in comparison to them. And the sad part is that's halfway true, half true. We don't do as much, we don't get that much, but we spend a whole lot. I know people who, buy countless merch, like myself. Like, I buy merchandise, I buy it from official websites, K-Town for You, K-Pop Mart, K-Pop Town. Whenever we get a U.S. tour, they don't really go to all the cities. Well, not all the cities, because that'll be a lot, but they really go to California and New York. They just started doing Chicago as a place. They just started doing that. That's very, very recent. Block B and Top Dog were the only two that Miami ever got, and I only went to one. I only went to Block B. I wasn't able to go to Top Dog, sadly. I wish I could have, though. I actually like Top Dog. But we don't get nearly as much as the K fans do, but that doesn't mean that we're not as active in the fandom. So, I mean, with BTS, I think they're more internationally based, however. I think that they have an equal amount of American fans to Korean fans, even though I'm not sure how many Korean fans there are. But if it's anything like the BTS US Army page, there's a number. There's a huge number of ARMY, the BTS fans, that live in the US and traveled, miles over states, over some, I've read a few accounts that said that they actually flew to the States, to Atlanta, to see BTS. And the fact that TGM doesn't see that just basic concert etiquette, organizing, I don't know why the word escaped me, concert organizing etiquette is upsetting. If you knew, apparently they knew since July that they oversold their venue by 100 or so. So what that means is that they knew that they oversold, but didn't even think about changing the venue, but gave the excuse that they didn't know the seat capacity of the venue they used in Atlanta. BS. I can already call that straight up BS, because even me looking up a concert to go to, I look to see how many seats there are. I want to know that type of stuff. And that's just basic stuff. That's really basic, guys. Then there was the issue of refunding, anything like, really refunds, the high touch, and I think the photo, I think it was like a photo thing. None of those are going to happen. The high touch and the photograph session did not happen, because TGM, even though they let the fans know that they were going to receive high touch and an autograph or photo session, they went back inside, let this concert happen, let BTS, sign away and, high fives and all that stuff and talk to the fans, even though that was not completely 100% safe, 100% fluent, the way it should have been. But they didn't let them know that there was 100 or so fans waiting for them outside, and they left. And upon that, they had to tell these 100 or so fans that BTS left and that they weren't going to receive high touch. They weren't going to get that stuff, the other stuff that was promised to them. There's so much to the story, you guys. I really just can't fit this all in 10 minutes. I can't fit my feelings into 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys know, all my panhandles have changed. So they're all Ozangish. Do not worry. There will be links in the description below. So make sure you also look at my blog, where I'm actually going to write a whole thing about this. Alright, you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off here. Go to my blog. You're going to see more there, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.